I met my husband, if you had asked me when I was 10 years old, what is the age difference you want between your husband, I would tell you nothing less than 8 years or nothing less than 10 years.
So thank you so much for that. I've watched a lot of your videos where you've talked about getting married to an older man, and I would just like to hear like your perspective on, is it that you knew that this was God's will for you and you just went in? Were there any reservations? Or because I also had my own reservations. In my case, I knew that this was God's will for me, and that's why I was mentioning that I'm not really like your typical example, because at 18 I really had a strong relationship with God. I could really hear his voice, and when my husband came along, the Holy Spirit would not let me rest that this is the person for you. But I had my own reservations. I was like, God, I'm too young. God, and he's shorter than me actually. He's like slightly taller than me. So I'm like, God, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing shorter. I'm not doing shorter. So I had a lot of things that the Holy Spirit had to start to like hear your own like perspective or your own experience.
Okay. Just like you, I also had a good relationship with God. I gave my life to Christ. Like, I was born into a Christian family, but I actually actively gave my life to Christ when I was 13. At the age of 15, I was already teaching in believers class. I was already, I wasn't a perfect Christian by any standard, but I knew I had a relationship with God. Before I met my husband, if you had asked me when I was 10 years old, what is the age difference you want between your husband, I would tell you nothing less than 8 years. Or nothing less than 10 years. I always knew. It was like,
where did that come from?
I think it was something I already knew.
Wow.
I don't know where it came from. I just knew that whenever I prayed or I envisioned myself with my husband in the future, this will be years before I met him, I would always envision someone significantly older. And so when he came, there was no reservation in my end, because I already knew that. Before I met him, I have never dated anyone that was below 8 years older than me. I didn't date a lot. Because then
just to be clear,
you would think I was dating around, but no, I wasn't. I have not dated a lot, but the few people I dated in my single days were at least 8 years older than me. I have never been attracted to anyone my age or anyone younger than me. It might be that I have daddy issues, honestly. But that was just, me. And I knew that whoever I was going to marry, like, I already had a conviction younger. There were a lot of things that got revealed about my husband before I met him. Like, where he was going to stay. I knew that my husband would be in Abuja. I've never been to Abuja before I met him. Never. There were a number of things that he told me about him that when I met him, it wasn't then I was trying to ask God, is it the one? No, when he came, through our conversations, because we're friends first, and that's why I always say, be friends before you date. From our friendship, because it wasn't him trying to impress me. When we're friends, I got to know that this guy ticked all the boxes, right? He ticked, like, in short, I wasn't even thinking of marriage when I met him. It was when he was talking, when we were talking and getting to know each other, I realized that this guy was actually the things I prayed for. So when he would say something, I remember something that God had revealed to me about my husband. And then he would say something, I remember something God had revealed to me about my husband. I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. So for me, it wasn't about the age, and that's what I've had people in my DMs. Oh, he's 20 years older than me. Should I go ahead? He's 18 years older. Should I marry him? It's not by age, my sister. If God had brought someone younger, and he had said this was the person, and this is the thing, right? God will not force anybody on you. But when I saw him, apart from the age, was just one of the other things that God had told me about my husband, right? So when I met him, he had to, age was just one thing. Age was not really a relevant thing to me. If I'd met someone my age or younger than me that ticked all the other boxes without the age, I would marry him. Because age is not the factor.
The principal thing.
Exactly. There are a lot of other things, character-wise, his beliefs, spirituality, his focus, his goal, and his support for my goal, and all those things were very important to me. So I already told you how my husband toasted me, like how he literally got me to get married to him. He literally told me what I knew God has told me about my partner. So that's why I always say, it is not when you're looking for a partner, you start to pray. You have to have known God. And God would, I'm telling you, when you know God, he would have told you certain things. When the person comes, it's just a confirmation. It's not you going to go ask him, is it the one? So that was how it was for me anyways.
Well, That's amazing. Because I've seen so many people give up on really great guys because of that, just focus on this one minute thing, and I'm like, you know, even a lot of the TV shows that people watch, it's all focused on the superficial, the physical, and you want to make the decision of a life partner based on a very quick physical examination of somebody. And I just watch those and I'm like, are you guys are you guys serious? Are we joking here? Wow, so thank you so much for that.